Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Prolegomena gaming stream. My name is Mike, and today is the May 2nd show. We have something new today on MTG Arena. We have a flash event. The goal of the event is to win 3 games before we lose 2. For the price of 1 Dominaria booster, you can potentially win another booster or some gold. So we're gonna see what the reward structure is. Try it out. You don't get anything other than the booster for 0 wins, for 1 win, but you start to accumulate some rewards after 2 and 3. Let's see if it's worth it and jump right in. We're gonna be trying. Let's go with the Teferian Friends deck we tried a few days ago. This deck is looking to utilize Oath of Teferi along with Planeswalkers to double up activations and grind our opponent out. See what we're up against. Our opponent goes first. We have tap lands, but powerful spells. Against a creature deck that's not heavy with legendaries, we should be able to survive until our late game. We'll need some lands to get there. Like Merfolk deck. Or Explorer even. So this might be a quick game if we can't find another land. Right on time. We're going to go for a search here to scry into our land drops. The 2/1 Branch Walker isn't something that we need to prioritize right away. And again, with this flash event, we can only lose 2 games, so each game is of the utmost importance. So decisions like mulliganing are especially painful. Opponent bins the Moment of Craving. Not great against our deck. The graveyard. Settle the wreckage. Our opponent gets scry value here. Let's just take 2. We have another cast down for the other wild growth, if that becomes a problem. Sure. Supernatural Stamina, not a commonly played card, but it's great in this situation. Just need to hit a land here, preferably white source, so we can settle next turn. Another Branch Walker. So Fresca on top. Can't find a land. But we get an important negate. should probably save the gate for Nebraska, but it doesn't matter. This game's over when we can't find land. Okay. It's fine. So we're down a game. Let's see if we can pull it back here. We need to win at least 2 to get more than the booster that we essentially paid for the event. Go first. This is Mulligan. So this could be a quick little tryout here. This is the pain of best of 1 matches when you only have 2 losses to give. Try to scry for a land on upkeep, then cast something down if we need to. This could be vampires or an ascend deck. Opponent stuck on 1 land. Opponent cycles a cast out looking for land. They don't find it. Let's see if we can find ours. Another Gideon. So we can seal away the Sky Marcher here if we need to. And play Gideon next turn. Another one. Sure. Like Ascend deck probably has a few histories. Seal this away.
Your weapons won't help you, no. I don't think so.
Then we can start drawing extra cards every coming turn. Gideon takes 2 here. Got a settle, which is great. Draw a card first. Negate for history if they want to play it. Plus on
I've got
the
you.
biggest creature. And just looks to get a 2-for-1 or a 1.5-for-1 with the Marshal and the token. This will ramp our opponent, but the Marshal is going to be a problem. And we have negate if they play a history here. Knight of Grace. Here are all our lands. It's a fairy.
I know
Draw
my
a card.
responsibility. Let's skip to the good part.
We have the Scrybug. We can play Vile Offering next turn. Get back something, kill something. Oh, don't end the turn. We have to use Gideon.
Stand down.
Let's untap the Treasure Cove and blue black land. So we can draw a card, use up our last treasure. Opponent probably attacks to fairy. Going after Gideon. Their opponent have a follow-up. They have 3 cards in hand. Cast out. This will eat a negate. Then we draw another card.
Hold that thought.
An additional Teferi. You don't have any creatures. Bringing back a bodyguard. Kill a Sky Marcher. Doesn't sound particularly amazing.
Not if I can help it.
But we do have 2 active planeswalkers. We can chump whatever they send at us. Shall I? Fine. They're just attacking Gideon. And Gideon's hampered by Shalai. Just let that go. Urza's Ruinous Blast. We can use this. Our opponent gets back Sky Marcher. Exile all non-legendary permanents. Let's plus on Teferi first, see what we hit.
No time for a break.
Vraska's Contempt. Can we can do both because we have untapped mana. Z. We could exile Shalai and just plus on the Sky Marcher. Do that. Might not be the optimal line, but we're surviving. The history here would be pretty bad. Opponent has another Shalai. and history. Find a Lyra.
We need to move quickly.
Seal away is great.
Stand down.
We can ultimate Teferi here. And drop another Teferi. Opponent's had enough. So we are now 1-1 in the flash event. We paid 1,000 gold for a effective Dominaria booster. We don't get anything additional to that booster unless we win 2 or 3. So let's go in for the extra wins, see what we get. Against Vanguard. We go first. We're Gideon flooding again. I hate mulliganing. Probably should. Merfolk. Probably should have kept the fetid pools to cycle it. This allowed us to get our Colors of Land on online as soon as possible. We can contempt something this upcoming turn that is going to be too slow, however. Opponent might be stuck on just blue. We're figuring out how to play their spells. Kapala arrest us. We need this blast here. Settle the wreckage. Sure. See our opponent attacks. great for us. If they get lands, they lose the Mistbinder. As it sits, we can Vraska's Contempt. Something now without Kapala. But we need a Planeswalker. Something like Gideon to then play this upcoming turn and then Ruinous Blast everything after that. We don't find it. How's it going, early? What's going on? We're playing some flash events with Teferi and Friends deck. Plays Deep Root Elite. Probably have to exile something here. And question is either Deep Root Elite or the Forerunner. Went 5-3 with the Sapperling deck. That's also a threat. We're getting comboed off. I think we have to get rid of the Forerunner because it's the biggest beater, but it's not the most value for our opponent. Another land is game over. So our opponent hits us for 2 or for 3 at least. They draw 2 cards, and then we need something like a Teferi or a Gideon immediately. Jade Bear. See what our opponent does. Opponent spreads the love. We take 5. They draw 2. Seal away. This keeps us in the game, but we're not winning. We need, like I said earlier, a Planeswalker to then sweep the board with the Ruinous Pass. But we'll look to get rid of the Oracle if they attack with it. They have no respect for Settle. Urza's Ruinous Blast exiles all non-on-land permanents that aren't legendary. Just kind of like the non-legendary sweeper. But we need a legendary permanent able to, since it's a legendary sorcery, we need a legendary creature or planeswalker. Keep its land. Yeah, Merfolk and best of 1 definitely strong. You need to essentially pre-sideboard your sweepers, have them at the ready. Our opponents holding on to this Silvergill Adept for some reason. They could be using it to apply pressure and draw cards, but maybe they're fearing an Essence Scatter. One of the downsides of the Ruinous Blast is that it will exile our Sealaways. So it's, I don't know, we're giving our opponent back their permanents if we use it now, just to get rid of whatever else they play. So you kind of want to time it so this goes off first, and then you seal away anything else. We take one. Again, our opponent's holding Merfolk in their hand. So here's Teferi. Let's see what we hit.
For my excellent timing. Hurry!
Other planes, so that's great. So if our opponent plays the Vine Shaper Mystic, they can put a counter on both their creatures and get rid of the Teferi. But using the Teferi's -3 ability to essentially tuck a Merfolk into their deck doesn't feel great because the Mystic still gets rid of it. So I think we had to search for an answer there. Opponent sends both at Teferi.
It's only a matter of time.
Teferi goes down. Another land. We're not dead on board yet, but it's pretty close. Opponent keeping 2 cards in hand, and maybe one of them is like a dive down, some sort of interaction, or an unsummon. So they're just holding on to your 2 lands. We went into full control mode to kind of bluff a sweeper effect or any interaction. Opponent plays a Forerunner. So let's see how our opponent attacks, whether our bluff can make a difference here. It does not. We draw a Karn that allows us to play Ruinous Blast. But our opponent has a Mistbinder on the top of their deck, which will allow them to pump up their stuff. If we -2 and create a 1/1, the Merfolk get +1/+1 from Mistbinder, and then the Deeper Delete can throw another counter on something, making both the Merfolk that we would unleash with the Ruinous Blast lethal. So we have to plus here, I believe. Hopefully get 2 threats that our opponent has to give us one of them. Contempt. It's not going to do it. So yeah, we could exile everything, they get their creatures back, and then they pump and we lose. So that's game. So we went 1 and 2 in the flash event, our first flash event. We just get a Dominaria booster. Let's open that up. Get a common wild card, Eldest Reborn, and a mythic wild card. So pretty great out of that 1,000 gold. We tried Teferi and Friends. Let's try Flash Knights in the Flash event. She's a similar build, cutting out the black, including Graph Capation and some History of Benalias, and some Counter Magic and Lyra as the top end. So let's see if Graph can do any better than just Teferi and his friends. Another 1,000 gold. Top deck. Hoping to not have to mulligan. Opponent will be going first. Good. There's some early interaction. We can cycle this if we need to. And then work our way up to Teferi. Going on blue-black control, vampires. Mono-black maybe. Opponent might be on mono black, or they're just not hitting their other color here. They're cast out. Probably look to cycle maybe the Illumination, end of our opponent's turn. This is. Are they on Fungus? What, or is this just their early interaction? This is a deck from MTGO 5.0 leagues, and just modified it a bit. I don't think we'll need 3 cast outs. Turn 4 Knight. So we can flash in Wrath Capation end of our opponent's turn, which will allow us to flash in Teferi if we need to, or we can just untap and play Teferi. Opponent's still on mono black. Let's see if they have Vraska's Contempt. If they use a Contempt here, it's more likely that our Teferi will stay around. Vicious Offering. Fine. Another Knight. These are 3/2 first strikers, and if our opponent is on mono black, pretty great against our opponent's deck. So our options are play Teferi or play 2 Knights of Grace against a potentially mono black opponent. If we play Teferi, we have Seal Away up, and our opponent just has 2 power on the board.
I can no longer stand by. You know what? I'm not done yet.
Let's get our card advantage going, and then we can drop down the blockers for Teferi next turn. This gets contempted. It's nevered. Sure. Two here. Then let's see if our opponent has any answers to a hexproof from black creature. They can make a 2/2 black zombie creature token here with the return portion. That's not really a threat to us. We have another Knight of Grace. So we just ate a zombie. Sounds good. Then we have Cast Out up. Maybe they play a Liliana here. Or Seal Away. But our opponent's not going to be attacking anytime soon. Whisper. They can't get anything from the graveyard back. So it's just a 2/2. Bone Picker. Sure. So if we attack for everything, they can try to double block again. We're okay with that. Sure. They attack, we can steal away. They try to use Whisper for something. We have the Scavenger Ground. We have a Chupacabra, or a Essence Scatter for the Chupacabra. Even though it would just be a 2/2, because we have Hexproof from black. If our opponent attacks. Another Knight of Grace. So we've drawn the bane of their deck. They can block and sack to get something back, but nothing really matters. Sure. Mastermind's acquisition. That is interesting. Yeah, Hexproof from black can't be the target of spells or abilities, black spells or abilities. So their whole deck is basically turned off unless they acquisition for something like a -2 to all creatures. So we won't be playing out this fourth Knight here. In case they search up a sweeper with the Mastermind's acquisition. Yeah, Golden Demise would be something that works here. Or Bantu's Last Reckoning, which would destroy all instead of... if it has target, it can't be targeted, but if the spell says all, then it still affects the creatures. And if our opponent's in mono black, I'm assuming they have access to at least something like Golden Demise, since it's only an uncommon, I believe. I haven't played since Ice Age. Here's the Golden Demise. So their stuff lives, our stuff dies. It's good that we didn't play out the extra Knight here. Do we cycle a cast out? Cycle one. I used to collect, I think, around Ice Age. There's no other like people interested in Magic at the school I went to, so I just mostly bought packs and put together bad decks, and then I stopped until the Eldritch Moon, just like 2 years ago, something like that. If we attack in, they block with both, and we trade off. Doesn't sound too exciting. Snow-covered lands? Snow-covered lands are, as art, some of the best. Do we want to trade our knight for their 2 creatures? Probably not. Did you play Chandelar, the early PC game? Early? That's my like one of the fondest memories I have for Magic, and like last time I ever played with banding.
I am not going to sit this one out.
Draw a card.
Keep up the pace.
Sure. Yeah, Chandelar is great. You can find it for free now. It's kind of like abandonware. You can update it with like new cards, not exactly like Dominaria recent, but within the last few years. And it's great just to like walk around and try to make a deck.
Let's skip to the good part.
Another seal away. Guess we're just going to ultimate this to Fairy. Try to win that way. Not finding any other threats. Another acquisition. See what our opponent gets. Maybe a contempt here to get rid of our Teferi. If our opponent had a puts into your hand, so this might be contempt. History.
Hold that thought.
We can what are the chances that they got another sweeper? Because if we drop these two histories here, and they have another golden demise, that could be bad. I think we're ready to trade off if need be, and then just drop at least one history. When it takes it. Then we can just go on the like school plan here. Tell our opponent about the past. Razaketh. Looks like they searched for a Razaketh, which can search for an answer to Teferi. Opponent pays 2 life. And they get probably a contempt. They have to enter the board and our planeswalkers plus our half planeswalkers in the histories. We still have one cast out for Razaketh. Put a stop, end of turn. Yeah, the writing on the wall has been there for a while, and we're just kind of now closing in. Definitely these histories and Teferi, great draws. Knight of Grace, kind of like the silver bullet to their deck. We were pre-sideboarded against them. Festering Mummy. You can have that. Let's just cast out here. Sure. So we won one, which feels great. We don't get any additional rewards for just that one win. We need to get to up to 2 for extra chance at gold or a booster. But we haven't lost yet on this second event, so looking pretty good. Yeah, the mono black deck. I don't know if I was sold on that current construction, but the black creature that you can pump for a black, if he has those in his deck, that's certainly something that is powerful. Hello. It's mono red. We'll want to cycle here to find might be some sort of control. Not sure. I don't see a lot of scavenger grounds in mono red. It looks like mono red. Cycle here. Hold up Essence Scatter for next turn. Or it might have a lightning strike here, some sort of interaction. It's not really a blue-white control list. Kind of like a blue-white tempo. You could definitely skew it more towards control, but you're kind of have to go approach if you do that. So we just Essence Scatter this, play Wrath on our opponent's next end step, and then flash in a Lyra. Oh, the Scavenger Grounds? It's for like Eternalize and Balm decks, Scarab God decks. But I don't know. It's a colorless land in an aggro deck. It has synergy with Ramming Up Ruins. But I don't know. I just kind of want Ramming Up Ruins and Deserts and hope to win before you need to sack this. Is where I would be coming from it. But that could be wrong. Their opponent has Hazoret, but they have 6 cards in hand. We can flash in a Lyra if they try to get rid of Graph here. It's looking pretty good. Yeah, Lyra, especially Lyra out of nowhere. When our opponent has done us 1 damage from their desert, it's kind of game over. So here's the lightning strike. We flash in a Lyra. They need a lightning strike plus like something like a magma spray to get rid of this Lyra. And then we have a backup one if we need to. Looks like that's what our opponent has. Their hand was all removal. Question here is we settle the Hazaret or play Lyra. Opponent needs another combination of removal pieces. I think we have to make them have it. They need another 2 pieces of interaction. And the upside of Lyra is just so great here. And we're still at 19. So they're just discarding their hand to okay. That's fine by me. So our opponent has 3 deserts they can sack eventually for a total of 6 damage. We have settle for a Hazaret. Then we can cycle the land or use Supreme Will end of turn if we need to. Thank you, Spend Katra, for the host. I appreciate it. Does our opponent attack with Hazaret? They do. Let's use Settle here. They have 1 card left in their hand. And that gets us up to our 2nd win. 2 Lyras against Mono Red. Kind of the number you need, I guess. Now we have an unspecified number of gold and/or boosters, in addition to the 1 pack of Dominaria that we bought with 1,000 gold. We have a loss to give before we win our next match. I started streaming 2 months ago. That's it. So I am a newcomer. Opponent goes first. We have turn 2 search against a slower deck. It sounds great. Against faster deck, we have turn 2 Knight of Grace. Opponent mulligans. Short sword. It's like a red white equipment deck. Interesting. kind of want to leave up Essence Scatter here. For some interaction for the legendary that they're going to play. Because we don't have anything on the in our hand to get rid of an onboard threat. There's a cast out. So we can, as Kanta here, hope to pry into a land and then cast out any creature that they play. Sure. This legendary does not. So this costs 7 to equip the blade there. It's tap land, but we'll take it. A 2/2 first striker, not going to be good enough, so we're going to hold up the syncopate. They have another creature, something else. The black blade is not getting equipped. We can take 4 here. Opponent might have something like a seal away in their hand, lightning strike. So now we have Wrath plus Cast Out plus Syncopate. Still fine taking 4. If that's what our opponent goes in, and then we can flash in Wrath end of turn. Fine. So let's see if they've been holding a lightning strike. Cast out on the Wrath. It's fine. Lyra. Thinking play Teferi here, tuck the champion. Then keep Lyra for next turn.
I won't hide from the world any longer. Time is much more malleable than people think.
Not worried about a lightning strike because they used the cast out on the Wrath instead of the lightning strike. That's fine. We have Seal Away. This doesn't have Vigilance. Does not. So you just take this. Draw a card.
Hurry.
Our opponent can equip the Black Blade here, but it doesn't have Vigilance, so we can just seal it away if they attack in. If not, we can just cast it out next turn. Draw a card.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
Attacking with Lyra. Go back up to 17. Untap 2 lands. have Syncopate, Cast Out up, but this is their champion, which is something we're not worried about at all. We have another Seal Away. Don't want to spend a Cast Out. We don't need to. Sure.
We need to move quickly.
Opponent might equip up, but that gets sealed away. We have multiple answers. To whatever our opponent has. Then we flash and Wrath for lethal. Pitch that. Draw a card. Attack. All attack. Good game. This list. Should be Flash Knights under there. Play some Boulderized version of it. We're up to 3 wins here. It has good cards like Teferi, History of Benalia, Settle the Wreckage, cards that you'll want in any control deck. So if you build something like this deck, it's not, won't be going to waste. Your wild cards aren't going to waste. So we went 3-0 on this Flash event. We got 600 gold and a 1 booster. So I don't know, I'm not too excited about that. But it is more than, you pay 1,000 gold for 1 booster. We got a booster, had some fun, and 600 gold after it, out of it. So as every now and again, I'm probably fine. But if you want value, it's probably not the best place to get it. I can pull up the deck as well. But if you follow that Stream Decker link, it has the list on the Stream Decker link. Yeah, Lyra as well. It's all just good cards. Search for Escanta. It has cheap interaction, so you can start off with your Seal Aways, your Essence Scatters, Syncopates, Illuminations, and then work your way up. I think the land base is the most painful thing because there's a lot of rare lands. Those always I don't know, at least for me, feel bad purchases. Like you could be getting something like not a Lyra, but because it's a mythic, but you could be spending something. Spending your wild card on something else than a land, but blue-white lands, you kind of need them. They're highly prioritized in the current meta. Yeah, cast out, another great piece of interaction, only an uncommon. The counter suite, all uncommon. But History, Lyra, and Teferi, those are going to strain your mythic wild cards for sure. Do another event. There's only a limited time. Let's try out this Shauna deck. I'm not too sold about this deck. It kind of like wants to go wide and tall with Shauna. It has a Huatli to try to emblem as quickly as you can. So whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you can draw a card. Then you have some kind of combos here with Oketcher's Monument and the Conquistador. You could search up your Conquistadors, play them for 2 mana, get a token out of it. Fits in some Lyras, because those are great. Some Histories, because those are great. Some Legion's Landings. Let's see if this deck is any good. Yeah, 2 Fairies. That's a great start. Have a good night, Early Park. See you around. Thanks for stopping by. Always appreciate it. Our opponent goes first. We have turn 2 Legion's Landing. Just need creatures. Monument with no creatures. So best case, we drop a Oketcher's Monument this upcoming turn and draw a creature. Opponent going full aggro. If they don't leave up any Stormtaper activation, we can. That is a lot. Cartouches on there. We can cast it out. Sure. So that was the thing. Opponent just suited up 1 creature. And we got a loss in before anything really happened there. Against Stallion. I think we only have a few of these utility lands in the deck, and they're really, really bad when you have something like a Benelush Marshal. So once again, we need lands. Preferably one of them is green. Festering Mummy. Cool. Opponent doesn't want to trade off. The zombie plan. We're going to be on the concede plan here pretty soon. We do draw a white source. The history is a way to get back into the game. So we've seen 12 cards and only 2 lands. Claim our pack prize. Common wild card. Verdant Force. So that was painful. That last defeat there. Going to take a quick break, and then we'll head back into more flash events because they're only around 4 today. We are back. Let's try the Sapperling Sprawl deck. It did pretty good in the quick construction events yesterday. And see if we can put that good graces into today's event. We have Fungus and Sapperling Lords into Sapperling Creation. Tendershoot Dryad, kind of like at the top end here, along with Vraska. Let's see how it goes. Against Orange Dude. I might not be mulliganing as much as I need to be, but it feels so bad in a best of one scenario. If we get up to 4 mana, we can contempt the walker if need be. We just need green mana. Sure. Now we need any mana, preferably green. Take 2 here. The opponent might just have interaction, jungle creeper. Fine. So we have contempt. We need it. Probably use it because if we draw green, we want to be able to play things. Take 5. See if they play a better target for the contempt. Caravel. And just assuming that the Tendershoot Dryad dies because our opponent has not had an opportunity to use any interaction. We'll play out 2 bodies here first. We can fungal infection something if we need to. Opponent plays a Golden Demise. Sure. Fungal infection this. They can get it back, but belatedly. So look to play Spore Swarm, end of turn, and then either Migration or Thallid. Final. Throws the Caravel. We have basically infinite amount of trump blockers. Probably has 1 unknown card in hand. attack for 12. Opponent might have contempt, reward, sure. It was our most mana efficient play. It had the highest upside. Luckily it worked. We have the backup of playing our Lord this upcoming turn. Our opponent gets in for 3. Opponent's getting in for 3 here. Again. It's fine. Do they have... another piece of removal? Assuming they do, we can just play Sapperling Migration. No reason not to attack. Post combat for the Tender Shoot. Opponent takes 6. Let's migrate, and then we can drop the Tender Shoot as an additional Lord if they kill the 4 crown here. Opponent might have been just stuck on lands in hand. We go to our first win in the Flash event. We only get the possibility of extra rewards at the second win. So let's get there. Opponent goes first. We have removal into Slimefoot. So we can play Spore Swarm to jump in front of these knights. And then Vicious offering the Benelish Marshal upcoming turn. So we can play Elf here. And then play Vraska this upcoming turn. Let's go with that. Sure. Path of Discovery. We're unlikely to die here, and I think Path of Discovery into Spore Swarm is just great value. So let's see if that works. Opponent has another Marshal, but they just attack in with the Knights. Let's kill Lifelink. Take 8. Yep. And then we can Vraska as a follow-up. Go back up to 3. Knight of Grace. Not going to do it. Let's just play 4 1/1s. Get some Path of Discovery activations. Pitch the Elf. Keep the Tender Shoot. Tender Shoot. Tender Shoot. Now our opponent needs something like a Lyra to go over the top. They don't have it. So we're up to our second win for an indeterminate amount of gold and or booster. Our opponent goes first. Turn 1 Elf. It's great. Turn 2 Sapherd. If our Elf lives. If not, we can play Migration, unkicked. So they kill the Sapherd. Get something on the board. Not playing out the Spore Crown because probably have more interaction. Might be vampires or knights here on the Radiant Destiny. Vampire. just be as mana efficient as possible. Play our 3-drop. Then we can play the Lord this upcoming turn, plus migration if we want to. Another Radiant Destiny. So their creatures will be big, but they need creatures here. Opponent's down to 9. Put the most pressure on the board as we can. Opponent can go up to 15. And then we have 8, 9, 10. That's not going to work. You could drop an elf, have Spore Swarm as an instant, end of turn, and then see where we go from there. Do we play around Settle the Wreckage in a Vampire deck? The question, they could also have Seal Away for the Spore Crown Thallid if we attack with it. So assuming we don't proc with the Spore Crown here, we have 4 and 20 power. +4. This, if we attack out, it loses to something like a Vicious Offering. This is 16, 19. You don't need to check with Llanowar Elves. If they have something here, we can draw a card with the Arch. There's the Vicious Offering. Sure. Another Radiant Destiny. So if we find some piece of removal, our opponent is giving us the win. There's just an elf. We have to pass the turn here. Hope our opponent doesn't have another Queen's Commission. Legion's Landing. The 4th Radiant Destiny and 14 cards. Sure. So our opponent is a lucky person. I hope they feel good about themselves. We are 2-1 in this current quick constructed flash event. Opponent goes first. Mulligan. Our opponent is on the Embalm Eternalize plan. There's 4 here. We don't have a land drop. We're not going to attack with the Spore Crown Thallid, because if we get Seal Away, we get wrecked. Let's not do that. There's Anointed Procession. We take 4 again. Our opponent's X-In will still take the 4. Let's see if they had that Seal Away. They have Angel of Sanctions instead. Sure. We have a Vraska. We can either kill a creature or an enchantment. None of the options are great. We kill Angel of Sanctions and they have another land. They just get 2 back. I don't think there's a way out of this. We need our opponent not to have a land. Our opponent has a land. So they get 2 Angels of Sanctions here. And there's nothing we can do about that. So we go 2 and 2 in this flash event. We get 200 gold. A rare wild card, which is great. We're up to 6 and 6 on rare and mythic wild cards.